When did everyone stop having fun? That's why I started getting more passionate about all these projects I had. I think that's it. Because I observe and then I reflect, right? And there's a whole pile of documents that I've put in my mind, that are in my mind, like dossiers. And I don't have, I never had a solution to that, but I do know that question is out there. When did everyone stop having fun, right? And it's prevalent depending on when that business became a business, how successful the business was, or is, probably was, the heyday, right? So the business inception probably was a wonderful time, okay? Because check it out, we're on our own, or our idea is finally coming to fruition. And then through that became a profit center. You started noticing revenue. And so the heyday was wherever on your graph you can probably find. Maybe it's right now, maybe it's constant. I hope it's constant, and I hope it's now, right? But for those of you that are listening or watching, being a social observer and being in a situation, because this is the fascinating thing about Zoom, okay? It's face forward video conferencing with people in groups, group chat with video, right? And it's accountability because your face is there and you can start to read people again, not just on the phone or just, through email. Because there's a lot of invisibility, human characteristics through email and through voice, right? You could hide things, but when you're face forward and you're talking, there's a lot of things like this. You can judge maybe certain things about me or whatever. You can see it, right? And so what I'm saying is that in terms of when did we stop having fun, right? I feel like if you're watching this, you can reflect on that statement and look at your chart and see that's when it happened, right? And if you can find out, okay, two things here. One, you have a point where that happened. That's number one. That's hilarious. Someone's up there, they're like, well, I stopped having fun in 1998. Oh, man. Anyway, so let's say, hypothetically, you do have that point. You might want to look at what had changed around that time. And then obviously that's something you got to kind of figure out because you've been carrying that all the way till now, 2020. You've been comparing, right? Comparing your whatever business operations from the past to the present. And haven't changed very much. Maybe you've changed a little bit here and a little bit there, but so that's one thing that I notice, especially with traditional method business. It doesn't necessarily have to be a traditional industry. It could be even a new digital forward industry, but using traditional methods that are unnecessary inside the supposed modern business, right? But that whole traditional, whatever, I say that word quite frequently, but if you imagine yourself in that position and nothing has changed, maybe a few adaptations to, the business world, but not a lot, well, that I see, okay? I see your stunted business growth on your face, okay? Because it looks like you're not having a good time. And so that is a synonym, a face synonym for not having fun. And here's the deal. Business can be fun, okay? Jobs can be fun. Maybe some of the stress of the job is necessary for the function to propel function. I understand that. But right now, in the past few years, probably 2015 onward, and it's 2020, so that's 5 years, man. I can tell you that there's a lot more people that don't look like they're having a good time. That's all, okay? You can hold me to that. You can quote me. It doesn't matter. But I feel like it's just the stress is so much and the reward is so little. right? And so that should be like one factor you should take to change right now something that maybe you've been wanting to change for a long time in business operation. Modernize something, modernize a method or whatever. And like I said, my consultancy, the automated method, is available for these conversations because it's 51-49 a long time ago, man. There are 51% people that are like doing it differently, and they are like having fun doing it. Like maybe not all the time, but just like enough that it doesn't like show on their face. And that's why I said like Zoom is amazing, because like all you have to do is just start talking about something psychologically that triggers something, and then I got you. Like I got you. I'm like, that's what you need to change right now, because I took a word or a concept that has something to do with what you think you know how to do better than I in terms of business operation. And then I just throw it out there and I just watch your face. And then I'm like, well, that's probably why you're having a shitty time right there. So maybe, take that as a sign. Like record yourself talking to yourself and like tell yourself things that you don't want to hear, right? And then if you see on your face, you're like, wow, that's what I look like to everyone when those situations come at me. I'm like, yes, that's what you look like to everyone when those situations come at you. When you hear what you don't want to hear, you look like this.